Is Colombia a third world country? I don't think so, and I think the language that we use to describe it that way doesn't do it any favors. It's technically a developing country. I'll explain in this video why. Unfortunately, in 2020, the trends that I'm going to be showing in this video actually reversed a slight bit, about 1%. About 500,000 Colombians returned below the poverty line. That sucks, especially because a lot of it is due to mandates that were not justified and not functional based on all of the data that we're seeing around the world. But life goes on. When this country is given a chance, it flourishes. Let's jump into the video. G'day, parceros. I woke up this morning wondering what the world wonders about Colombia. Is Colombia a third world country? The short answer is no. The term third world is extremely ignorant and outdated in today's world. But let's dive a little bit deeper. Roll the intro. I don't have an intro. I do have delicious Colombian coffee though. The term third world came from the Cold War era, when the world was divided into the first world of the United States, Western Europe, Japan, and Australia, and the second world, which was Russia, China, and this communist bloc. Every country that didn't fall into those two groups was labeled the third world in Latin America, Africa, and Asia. In 2018, the landscape is completely different, and the term you might be looking for instead of third world is developing country. Now, more than ever, we realize the words we use to describe a situation can define the outcome of a situation. So developing country provides a clear path and a direction for a country, whereas third world is a statement and a mental prison. So let's ask ourselves, as many people are in Google, is Colombia a developing country? I found 5 characteristics of an underdeveloped country. Low economic growth, high infant mortality rate, high levels of poverty, low utilization of natural resources, high dependence on industrialized nations. So let's take a look. Low economic growth. After the turmoil of the 80s and 90s, Colombia began its takeoff phase. It has been hindered by the political situation, higher taxes, corruption, and the oil price. And oil makes up about half of Colombia exports. So another reason why this takeoff is still being hindered. Despite that, Colombia has maintained its GDP growth the past 20 years about level with the world average. On top of that, agriculture and entrepreneurialism are highly valued in Colombia, and they're going to be big drivers for growth in the future. Alright, infant mortality rate. Check out the trend. It's a pretty clear trend. In the last 15 years, it's halved. It puts Colombia in the middle of the field in terms of the global ranking. By the way, average life expectancy in Colombia is a couple years longer than the global average. Alright, high levels of poverty. 20 years ago, 2 out of 5 Colombians were living in poverty. Now in 2018, 1 in 5 are living in poverty. Now these are government statistics and they should be taken lightly, but look at the trend. Just under 1 million people a year have been leaving extreme poverty and poverty in Colombia. And let's be careful what we perceive as poverty. I've been to towns, communities, farms all over Colombia, and I've met people who are extremely happy, and they might be in the stats of living in poverty and extreme poverty. So yes, it does make life more difficult and challenging, but let's not tie poverty directly to happiness. Colombia, after all, usually ranks number 1 or number 2 as the most happiest country on the planet. So these people are exiting poverty, and many of them are entering the middle class. It's a big reason why the bulk of new construction is going towards stratas 3 and 4 right now. And if we look at the numbers, we can see that the size of the middle class has doubled in the past 15 years. This is incredibly important for a robust economy. This is a good thing, and I say that with an uncomfortable understanding that there are still 12 to 15 million Colombians living in poverty and extreme poverty. By looking at what's happening and the trend and the opportunities that are being provided to people, we can expand the reality. Okay, quick review of the current trends in Colombia right now. People are living longer, babies are staying alive more, just under 1 million people are leaving poverty per year. The middle class is growing, as well as the GDP about 3.2% per year. So the last two, low utilization of natural resources and a heavy dependence on industrialized nations. I would say in terms of the economic growth in Colombia, these are the two weakest areas. These two areas involve a huge can of worms, which I'm not going to go into in this video. But I will mention two very significant steps in Colombia's journey happened last week. Colombia joined both the NATO trade alliance as well as the OECD. 34 big league countries that are economically developed and politically influential. In our interconnected existence, transparency is increasing dramatically, and I think a lot of the corruption in these areas are being exposed, providing a way forward. It's up to Colombia to see how many of these shackles from the past it will be liberated from as it moves forward. So where is Colombia on this path to becoming a mature, industrialized nation? Well, let's take a look at Rostow's stages of development. Colombia has an astonishingly diverse range of economic situations, from its towns to the cities, many of which I visited and experienced for myself. On average, I would say Colombia falls somewhere between stage 2 and stage 3 of economic takeoff. This particular model attributes both agriculture and risk-taking entrepreneurialism as the key drivers of growth forward in this path of progress. Two of the areas which I think Colombia has unbelievable potential in. Alright guys, I want to leave you with this. Despite the day-to-day drama that we are constantly being fed, today in 2018, this is the greatest time to be alive in Colombia. And as a developing country, the way forward is clear. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm going to invite you to embrace your fears and embrace your dreams. Because when you truly embrace something and accept it, it's when you can go beyond it. See you in the next one.
Hi there, thanks for tuning in. I wanted to check in real quick and make sure that you've signed up to my newsletter. Each week I'm sharing lifestyle investment opportunities. These are investments that generate passive income as well as enable an independent international lifestyle. I'll be curating the best opportunities from Colombian and Latin American real estate, agriculture, crypto, and digital real estate. To sign up, head over to newsletter.sammiller.life.